Today, topic is very big, and we have to talk about that's all Tibetan Buddhist traditions in 1.5 hour, or maybe only 1 hour, and then so that is a big subject in small time. Uh, According to my book, part of Pure Region, so this is a very old book. So actually, I lost my first written book, and lost in Tibet because written with hands and pen with the paper, and so no conditions for even copy or anything. So then someone says, I do something for you to make a book. So I give somebody and then lost. So I was very sad. So the second book, this one, also I wrote in India. It was a very difficult situation. Again, you have to write a pen and pencil, and but also not easy to write because firstly I went all the Tibetan traditions to study and practice, but not study history. Never studied history, never ever done history. And then I thought, oh, we better I thought I wished to write as history and view different viewpoints and practices. The purpose of to review a non-sectarian purpose, to become everybody non-sectarian purpose, because I experience in many sectarianism since I born. So much misconceptions about born and born tradition. And then since I come to India, I saw so much ignorance about Jonang tradition and all of them. So I wanted to write history and everything in a small book. But that time I hardly know anything about internet or nothing. That time zero knowing, and not many people knowing that time. So only have to chance to go libraries and read and then have to write. So I thought that's impossible or Tibetan traditions. So I try many monks, can we write this together? And I ask many monks and say, many times they say, okay, okay, and then do nothing. Then again, another monk, I say, oh, can we do this? One person, like we are 5 monks, one person search Gelugpa, research some research Kagyupa, like this way. Can we do that? And then please, then say, okay, okay. People say this, then never do. So, so for me, it's very hard to do it like this, and then finally, so I thought it's impossible by myself. But then finally, I thought that the viewpoints and different practices, this sense, I should write myself. Maybe I need a little bit research, but I should write by myself. But the histories, I have zero idea. So I try to find some people, but I'm very struggling to find. And then finally, some people are a little bit agreed if I give them some money, and I hardly have any money that time, but uh, try eat 15 rupees one a day for myself. So try to collect from my expenses. So yeah, then people is greedy and want more, and not keeping what we already agreed. But so yeah, so it's quite challenging, but at least a little bit research and help. I got it because I gave you money. So that's why I did, I did that way. So it's very small, but uh, it's historical book, because nobody uh, with purpose of Rime and all the traditions, history, and all traditions, practices all together, encouraging, non-sectarian historical book, no matter how small it is. So that's why it's good and had good result. That's why happened the Ocean of Diversity. This is only Tibetan non-sectarian, not going any more than that, because that time I have zero knowledge of others. But then this merit, I believe, this merit and His Holiness very mm, how do you say uh, acknowledge it and encourage it and praise. So that's why. So that he's written. So therefore, incredible merit. And then His Holiness telling me, can you write a big one in the future? This is a really good way to go. So that's why I try say yes. And so that's why we done the Ocean of Diversity with, of course, everybody's help. That was impossible. Global religion, even Christianity has like hundreds of branches. So each have that's many branches. So impossible, but so finally we done. So that's good merit. So today we not talking about global traditions, but only talking about this essence today. But also today I'm going to focus not the text one by one. Otherwise, maybe we don't understand. So in a short time, so I want to focus on the essence and the purpose. So probably many people confuse that Tibetan oral traditions. So how important and why different traditions, and what is the big deal on those things. So that's why we just focus in, not confuse, and everybody have some understanding. So focus that. So firstly, one confusion is that the Bon tradition is basically we don't really know exactly when it exists in Tibet. So and we don't have a history board somewhere else, India or anywhere else. So that means in religious point of view, we have a story about where born come from and when come from. We have rough idea, but it's something non-believers point of view. We don't know where we come from, but they are obviously exist in Tibet, and so then today's the Bon practices and the studies very similar of the Shakyamuni's followers, Buddha Shakyamuni's followers. Probably I can say one day Vande means Buddha, Chakcha means followers. I use this Vande, okay? Then Bombo means born. And we use that way, then not confuse. So today's Bombos study and practice very, very similar of the Pandis. Okay, Pandis means Buddha, Chakcha means followers. And then, but when we grow up as a Pandey, myself as a Pandey, all Pandays, not only my region, everybody I talk to them, they say they have huge aversion of Bombo and huge criticism and a big aversion. So, so I grew up like that. That's why then one day I thought, when I saw Bombo's people, they just look like people, not like evils. They just like people. Then I thought, then I have doubt in my camp. How come they are not like evils? That kind of doubt I start first, and then how can I to experience this? And then since then I try to meet many Bombos as possible. I try to meet, and whenever I meet, they're just like normal like Pandits, So, but they cannot discussions many studies and these things because they are not knowledgeable. But always I try to do this, and then one day I meet one Bombo monk when I walk in, and then because they hear some blue, so it's understandable. So then I talk to him, and then he knows philosophy, and then the religion. So then we discussed on 20 minutes on walking, and then I realized, oh, they're just different names, different terms, but it's just same as Pandits, same as Pandits. Then I thought, definitely like Pandits. So then I always looking on text, I can find any text. Then I found one day I found one book written by Pombo. Then I read it. Oh, it's different terms, names, something unfamiliar, but it's just the meaning seems the same. So then I have huge doubt. So then when I went to study my Lama, my root Lama Losang Trili, that time not Pombos there, but they told me one Pombo come there and studied there together. Oh, then that's also confirmed me. Oh, the Pombos definitely not different. How come? But still I have curiosity. How come people have such a huge version? But then I thought, it's just probably 90% sure is like ignorance. I thought like that. And then I wish to go to study and like that, but Pombo, but I have no chance. Then I come to India. Then I realize Pombo there as equally exist, but Jonang is not exist in there, and they don't understand Jonang. What is Jonang? They have no idea. So some officials even say, oh, it's part of Satya or part of Kagyu or is part of Pombo. They have no idea. So I was very surprised. So that's why I thought I should write this book. Everyone equally valuable and alive, not something dead. So that's why I am motivated to write this book. Okay, and then I thought about it. Then I cannot really write the Pombo because I don't know nothing. And so then one Pombo person, can you write this? Something I wanted to put together. But he said, okay, and then he wrote something, but I didn't satisfy what he's written. So then end up I have to write myself. So I wrote very nice essence. I can't write many pages, but I wrote the very essence. The essence, what I'm saying is, regardless the history or the history is like a fairy tale or like a religious story, a legendary story, or normal story, whatever, I have no judgment. I have no understand. I have no study. But what matters is today's Bombo, they definitely, I can guarantee, no huge differences than Pandis. So that means that Bombos are Buddhist. In my understanding, they are Buddhist. They're even not Buddha Shakyamuni's followers, they're Buddhist. I say like that. So I wrote that. That's the essence. Okay? And then Nyama is people believe the 5th century Dharma start. The Buddha Shakyamuni's Dharma start in Tibet. They believe that. So that's also have like some kind of story in Tibetan we call Hadong. So which means the story, not human story, like some texts and these things, holy object come from the sky, and then they collect it. That's one, and then they worship it. They say that is like 433. So that time the Tibetan king is Lhatothor Nyenchen. Okay, some people say that, and some people don't say that. Some people say the Nepal's one of the Pantida and another Lotsawa, these two people bought this object. They say this. Some people say they just come from sky. Whatever is the truth, doesn't matter. So everybody believe Buddhism, just worshiping without understanding. And say few generations later, they have some prophesies and they can understand this. So that is everybody believe. So that means the Dzongchen Gampo Cham is 7th century. So this is like in the 5th century, right? And then 7th century, Dzongchen Gampo Cham, Dzongchen Gampo Cham, then Buddhism start in Tibet. The real Buddhism started because they have translated few sutras and these things. So then practice and also there's marriages and everything and Buddhism, the kin. So that's why it is start real Buddhism, Dzongchen Gampo Cham, and 7th century. But then the heavily practiced in 8th century. So the 8th century, they have Mberotsana as a Tibetan, and the Namkha Nyabo. These people studied and went in Tibet, in India, and bring texts or translate texts and those things. And then, of course, the main Khampo, that's Shantarakshita, and then he started the real Sangha, Odent Sangha, and these things. And then after then have obstacles and those things to build temple and everything. So they need somebody is very powerful, not just peaceful. So they bought Pamasambhava Guru Rinpoche. So they did like that. So that means usually people saying, "Oh, Guru Rinpoche bought Buddhism in Tibet," but that's not entirely true, because Guru Rinpoche, of course, important, and and also, but Guru Rinpoche mainly more important is this believed that or cannot build temples and everything because they said there's many obstacles. Obstacles, it sound like non-humans. They taken down. During the day, people build it, and night time they're taken down. But that some people can interpret it can be bombos or the oppositions. But in the text, the religious people written the text sound like they are non-human beings. But anyway, whatever way, today we're talking about religion, we have to follow what they say. And according to that, then Guru Rinpoche pacify everything. So that's why there can be success. But also Guru Rinpoche is incredible, popular everywhere in Tibet. The main reason is they believed Guru Rinpoche buried so many teachings everywhere. And so then later on, many people claims they found these treasures. So that's why is always Guru Rinpoche mentioned, and always. So that some historical researchers say Guru Rinpoche cannot find any sources in India. Rinpoche is something not exist in India. They're saying that independent researchers. But a religious point of view, he has incredible story, a huge stories. But regardless what is conventionally Guru Rinpoche exists or not, for me it doesn't matter. What impact is huge. Impact is huge in Tibet. So even myself, when is young child, every day pray in Guru Rinpoche. Every day in Guru Rinpoche's mantra. Always believe everything Guru Rinpoche, help, like that. So then, as same as much more even impact other people more than me. So that's why that is matters. So that means Guru Rinpoche is not exist, or some people argue stay many years and Guru Rinpoche in Tibet, and went everywhere. And some people believe, he went only a few months, and there's arguing. But to me, the argument doesn't matter. I care about what impact, not the matter of impact, not the what the story. Because story is long time ago. Nobody have proper record. So that's why I'm arguing. So like that. So anyway, so Guru Rinpoche is the main figure important, but it's not only Guru Rinpoche. Many Lotsawas and many Panchatas, and they all bought Buddhism in Tibet. So this bought one is mainly the kept that one, and kept that version. That old version you kept, and especially Nyingma means Nyingma's teachings is emphasized on Dorje Semsum. So Mdo is sutra, of course, but main sutra Mdo Gompa Dupa. That one, and then Git Songanyangpo. Git, I think there's many, but mainly Songanyangpo. And then same means Dzogpa Chingpo. So these three is their focusing. But also this focus in more simple way is the traditional believed to come from India, or termas, that treasures in Guru Rinpoche buried, and people claim find this. So these treasures, they have many different treasures as well. Different forms of treasures. So all of them emphasizing who is emphasizing on this, who is keeping this version of Buddhism in Tibet and practicing, we can call it Nyingma tradition. Nyingma tradition, the old ancient tradition. Okay, so like that. So that tradition is this. They have the sutra, they have the this tantra, then they have the dzogchen. You know, these three focus, and their version of dzogchen also that come from India way, but also they have a version of Tirma, the treasure, and doesn't matter. Either version is the similar meaning. So that what changes becomes is the focus shift. So before Guru Rinpoche, of course, they only focus in the traditional one, that come from India, and then after Guru Rinpoche, after many years later, then their treasures, they focus more treasures, the shift focus. Many practices, rituals, many other things, and studies and practice all shift a lot. The other version, what they shift is that's more Dzogchen shift on this, and the others are lost a little bit, but it's not emphasized enough. Also become a little bit unfamiliar. So I'm not saying some individuals may be familiar, but in general, not familiar. Okay, so that's why become always Dzogchen. And Dzogchen, inside Dzogchen, you have Semdir Lord de Mangakade. So one is focusing more subject, one more focus object, and then one is focusing more mind. Simply, you can say that. So doesn't matter in the past everyone, but now is people focusing shift on Mangakade, the Peter instruction one more focusing. Okay, so that's why that is Nyingma tradition. Okay, so then inside in Nyingma, of course, different distance, different treasury holders, teachings, people focusing differently. Okay, that is Nyingma tradition today. Maybe that's enough. So then I say go Satya. Satya tradition, firstly, of course, Nyingma family. Nyingma family, Khonkhon Chok Gyalpo is a Nyingma family. But one day he decided live to live the ancient tradition, Nyingma tradition, and he want study shift, focus shift, practice. So, to tell this, maybe I have to tell you this, because Nyingma's ancient, I said the 5th century only worship objects. 7th century start real Buddhism, but main emphasize that's the during Trungpa Debtsan's time, the 8th century. So Trungpa Debtsan and Shantarakchi Tengger Rinpoche, these three is the main focus. Okay, and then 10th century. Huge obstacle in Buddhism in Tibet. So there's many again different beliefs, different arguments, but the bottom line is one king, Chugyatra Rajan, he focused so much ordinary people and worshiping too much, so. And then the other one called Alang Dharma. Normally, the religious people call Alang Dharma. the other name called Atam Jambo. So he don't like, so he did the opposite, and then they have something inside fighting. So he destroyed many the master of Buddhism, but means he destroyed mainly monastic, but the old Ringpas Tantra practitioners is difficult to destroy because you don't know they are lay people, so you can't kill everybody, but also you can't really know which one is because it's no more. The monastery is they have different robe, different location living, so easy to destroy. So basically, they destroy everything. So and then probably the very dark time. And then the late 10th century, again people maybe since then Tibetan sovereignty is diminished. So that's why probably very dark time. People may be very sad. What's sad is always bring spiritual focus. So that's why then start many people study Sanskrit, Indian language, and they try to go India. Many went. So that's why many went there and translate many things and bring many dharma. So now I have many options. So that time only Nyingma tradition exists, the others not exist. The only exist is new translations exist. So Nyingma means we're talking about Nyingma. Nyingma is the ancient one. The others, all Tibetan traditions, is new ones. New and Nyingma means new and ancient means translation. Okay, so that's why. But also translation mainly is Tantrayana, because Sutrayana is not too much differences, not too much focus. More focus Tantrayana. Okay, so that's why. Okay, now new translations come. So Konkonchak Gyalpo, he saw, they saw, oh, the Tantra is not secret anymore. So maybe the bliss is less. So the ancient one. So I better to choose new translation. He choose new translation. Okay. So then he found the Sakya the monastery. They made monastery. 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 Why they did that? Because also Atisha. Atisha, the new translation coming. Start and Atisha, and that time Atisha first saw such place. The Sakya where founded the monastery. That place is Atisha found 7 Manjushri seats, and then 1 Avalokita seat. He saw that, so he said later on many Manjushri emanations and Avalokita emanations come here. So his prediction come true, and then they found the monastery like gray earth. So Sakya means gray earth. So then they call like that. So then they focus on new translation and then practice. Okay, and then Konchak Gyalpo, I think he has 2 sons. Many important sons come, and then later on they have Sakya have many important figures. So then the 2 whites and 3 or 2 reds and 3 whites, very important ones. And so That's why Sakya come. Sakya focus new translation. So they study very hard. They practice incredibly. They're very success. And so that time, remember Tibetan province. Tibetan is decentralized. So ruled by everybody, mostly Mongolian ruled and like that. And then later on, Sakya's the Sakya Pandita and Donggon Churjen Papa, these two people becomes the Mongolian kings, lamas. So they give out a lot of Tibetan provinces, give back to us like mandala offering. So then becomes Sakyapa then becomes not just a religious holder, but also they become like king. Okay, so then that's why then they ruled both Tibet, these politic and religious both. But they are still very good ones because they are one of the Mongolian can say his lama, or maybe we change all your religion, the Nyingma and the Guardian and everybody, we can just forcefully turn to Sakya. And then he said, no, doesn't work that way. Let them practice their own religion. so it's good. So like that. So anyway, then Sakyapa practiced this incredible famous that Sakya Pandita and Donggon Chujin Papa. And Sakya become very proud. Okay, so Sakya means today, even today, Sakya means it's very pride and very strict. Okay, like that. So, and then Kagyupa almost same time start, but the monastery is Sakyapa a little bit earlier, but the Kagyupa lineage is just same time, almost same. I think even a little bit earlier. Okay, so. But the I forgot this Satyapa's focus on the Tantrayana is Indian master Bharapa. So connect with the Bharapa and then focus He Vajra. Okay. So and then Kagyupas that Marbalota, he studied with Ndrogmalota long time, and then he went to India. And then meet that Naropanchin and these people. So then he focused that time I think Kedor, He Vajra. But also later on, today's they focus mainly Charasambara, Kajipas. So all these focuses come, and then of course the Marpas the best disciple, that Milarepa, everybody knows that story, so I don't have to talk too much. But the Kagyupa, when is become Kagyupa bigger and bigger, is from that Milarepa's disciples. So Milarepa's incredible disciples is the he has many disciples, but the most successful lineage is that Gampopa, Tokpo Tharji, two names, Tokpo Tharji or Gampopa. So in his story, his disciples become that four big Kajupas, and the 8 small Kajupas, all of them come from his. Okay, so this way come Kajupa. So Kajupa didn't come like big study. Sakyapa, I think, come like big study, a combination of big study and big practice, and everything very strict and disciplined, and that way come. Kajupa is not so much huge study, how comes, but a more practice and realization. That's why I attract incredibly and become huge. Okay, so that's why each branch of also become, as most of them is become incredible big. For instance, even Drukung Kajit become huge, and Drukung Chopa Rinpoche becomes incredible. He's a scholar as well. So they believe he's the Tolpo Bashir of Johnson's, so emanation. So anyway, Drukpa Kajit also become huge. That's why they finally become even a political person. So that's why now that Bhutan exists now as a country because of that. So Bhutan is a tiny part of Tibet. Even if Tibet was very big that time, so Bhutan is a tiny part of Tibet. Okay, so now the big brothers are lost everything, and the small brother have a warm family. So that's why when I go Bhutan, everything Bhutan has very nice things. I just become emotional because I feel like just a small brother, Think about all big brothers. They think they are very big and they're incredible, and they lost everything, and then tiny small brother always they looking down one, hold everything. What do you think? So become like that. Okay. So yeah, Bhutan is very good today, and it's very, very success compared. So it's very nice to see. Rejoice. So anyway, so my talking today is very disorganized, but anyway, this is my style. So Kajitpa become like that. And then later on, Karma Barangshon Dorje and Karma Murtyo Dorje, Karma Chu, for example, I think there's some of them become very scholar. But yeah, in mainly knowing Kajitpa is practice and big, huge realization come like that. So Sakyapa means, incredible strict discipline, incredible scholars. For instance, like the Taksang Lotawa, Koram Jampa, and Sheikh Jam Chogdan, Koshik Taksam, Sachi Koshik Taksam, very, very, very proud. Okay, so like that. Okay, so Jonangpa. Jonangpa they appears later. Appears later means the name appears later. So what we have to understand is the lineage always from everyone have to go back to Buddha, and then Indian the huge monasteries, such as Nalanda, Bhattamashila, and then the other one I forgot name. So all of them have to go back there. Especially if something very scholar, mostly they're going to Nalanda. So so that way. So that means Jonangpa slowly come quietly uh, existed, and that time they don't call Jonangpa, they call Yotupa. Yotupa means sixth yoga lineage. So Sakyapa also, before they founded the monastery in Earth Great, before that they have lineage exist. They call Lamdipa because their main focus practice Lamdi. So that's why I call Lamdipa. Okay. Kargyupa also, they don't call Kargyupa first. Before lineage they call Kardamba. So Kardamba because new translation started from Atisha. So that means the Gelugpa and the Kargyupa both shares Kardamba. Actually, we all share Jonangpa, and everybody shares the Kardamba teachings, but the name part more Kargyupa and Gelugpa shares. Okay, so then Jonangpa is Jotukpa. Yeah, Jonangpa is Jotukpa come, and then Jotukpa. That means there practitioners everywhere. For instance, today we have students everywhere, all over the world, but there's no such thing one place. Yeah, we have few now, but if we don't have any one place permanently exist, then just like that. So then, since Jomonnak Gelma is the holy mountain, and in there established the permanent resident, and then so many followers, incredible practices, and then they named it Jonangpa. Okay, Jomonang means that valley, and then Jonangpa named that. So that is Kanfang Tukje Tsondu. Kanfang Tukje Tsondu, he involved there. He's like a wandering yogi, you know. But these people in area, people involved him, and also even the spirit, non-humans also involved him there. So that's why he established monastery there, and then huge success. Then his main disciple Shansim Gervayeshi, next holder, and then Kipten Yonden Jamso is the next holder, and then Torpo Bashirab Jansen, the fourth holder. So that's why I come here. But Jonangpa becomes, that means the Jonangpa's view and practices always exist there. Okay? For instance, this the even Sutayana point of view, the Jonangpa's this is Satya Kargyuda. I went to jump so far. So many scholars they didn't know the Jonangpa lineage, so they thought, start from Yemo Murkyo Dorje. Yeah, why they did like this? Because Yemopa is a local person, an incredible famous yogi, so that's why they thought start from there. Yeah, that's later on. Is many years later, people judge very wrong way. So anyway, but what I want to say is the Jonangpa appears there quietly, and then Torpo Batam, then he make challenge everybody. He becomes omniscient name, Kinkin, omniscient name, named by everybody. So then later on become Jonangpa. Probably maybe many people shocked. So and then is is not just become Jonapa, then he becomes Jonapa main holder, and then main holder is not only just main holder but incredible success, and everybody, even the want to debate him or anything, becomes a disciple. So other lama, huge lamas, they all students also becomes his disciple. So that's maybe many shocks. So that's why, yeah. Later on, after he passed away, some people very big grudge, because maybe that's why challenge. So anyway, the Jonapa means the always six yoga lineage. So that means shows doesn't matter regardless, 17 or 21 or how many translations and lineages come to Tibet, Kalachakra. Doesn't matter. The Jonapa always the holder of the six yogas, the compilation must be, because otherwise why they call Jonapa Jotukpa and not call anybody else, even they have the Kalachakra. So that's why I think there is a reason Jonapa call Jotukpa, and they still hold the compilation Kalachakra. So that makes sense. Okay. Okay, so what time?
8 o'clock. It's been 1 hour.
Okay, 1 hour. Okay, so now what I want to say is, more practically, are they very different, or are they very similar? They all similar. Oh, I forgot Gelugpa. So Torpopa, I think 1292 he born and passed away 1361 or something. He passed away, and
67.
so Tsongkhapa probably born 1351, and then 1450 or something passed away. So that means maybe a little bit more than 10 years Tsongkhapa born after maybe Torpopa passed away. So the important to know is, regardless how many traditions in Tibet we have, today we're talking about only 5 Vandis and Pombo and 6, but actually there's more than that in the past. So there's called 10 categories and 8 categories they talk about. For instance, today we exist as like this Jod lineage, and a few of them. There's no monastery separate, anything lineage separate, holders, monasteries, communities, but they have state teachings exist. Those ones used to be communities exist. So those all together, what is made is a huge differences, I think, is Torpopa and Tsongkhapa. Okay, why? Because Torpopa, he challenges all Tibetan point of views, and he challenges the Indian masters, and he make huge differences. Indian masters, for instance, he Asanga and Nagarjuna, and then the Vajabandhu, and this the 6 ornaments and 6 ornaments and 2 excellencies. He followed them, and he said they said correct, but any other panditas like Jatakarti and this most people think incredible treasure, and he led. He told them they are just okay, but that's just sometimes they're a little bit mistake. He put like that category, and he did this very successfully, and nobody can challenge. That time only a little bit can challenge is the Burton, but Burton also he defeated, and and finally Burton cannot even debate. So that's why Torpopa make huge differences. Not only that time, but even today, if anybody can understand really the viewpoint is very subtly understanding, and if very precisely understanding, then definitely Torpopa made huge differences in Tibetan Buddhism. Okay, that's for sure. And then Tsongkhapa, he different way he made huge differences. Okay, he made new way. So that's why the other traditions all disagree with him. Okay, the all other traditions that disagree with him, I think everybody kind of laughing, but in my point of view, is not easily you can laugh at Tsongkhapa. He knew the all other traditions. He studied all of them, but then he made his own way, his own interpretation. Okay, so that means the Tsongkhapa, he found the monastery when his age 53, I think, 53. And then he passed away as when he's 61. Okay? But regardless how short he lived, and his impact is his teachings and his Sangha impacts hugely. Okay? So the impact is, I would say, Torpopa and Tsongkhapa. The quality, I cannot say who is better. Could be Torpopa's impact even better, you could say that. But I cannot really 100% say that is too high to judge. But the quantity, definitely Tsongkhapa much bigger impact, okay? That's for sure. So that's why Tsongkhapa is not easily you can laugh out, okay? So incredible one. So he made new, because I see that whoever make huge differences, that one is the incredible, So that's why I'm saying Guru Rinpoche, whether only stay in Tibet few months or many years, or Guru Rinpoche is something exist in India or not, or Guru Rinpoche is important in India or not, whatever, the impact is there. So that's why is a very important to look to what impact and what make you differences. That's important. Okay? So now I have to make shorter because we can't say too much details. The shorter important is all these Tibetan traditions, are they very big there? Which one is follow? I would say no. The only important what is three things: your karma, your connection, and your convenience, and what you feels like. These three only important. Nothing else. For instance, their argument and their big debate is something ultimate truth, something go beyond conception, but arguing and conceptual level. So that's why it's not huge difference at all, not huge deal at all. But more important, the whole path, let's say 98% of the teachings and practices, they are same direction. But 2% is make huge differences or not, is you can find out later. You don't have to worry now. But at the same time, if you feel like which one, you can follow that. Because you feel like that, and which one you have a little inspiration, that helps you. That helps you go. But the little argument, you later on find out anyway. When you get the destiny, then you know, which one is correct. That means, okay, that's correct. That's it. Not, wrong, I have to go back all the way. It's not that. Okay? That's important. That's why I'm saying everybody's practice the same thing. Okay, if it's the same thing, then why make differences? What is the real differences? This is only your karma, your connection. The same thing, the food you like and some people hate. The food is suitable for your health, but not somebody else. Just like that. The medicine suitable for you, but not somebody else. But certain medicine. Just like that. So that's why it's not big matter whatsoever. That's why I love Rime. I love and I value the Rime. So Rime means that you understand, doesn't matter which one is I follow. Okay. And then again, people have always misconception is, Rime means I have to see all of them, I feel same. Value same. No, you're wrong. This is you have to understand. You don't have to feel same. You don't have to value same for you individually. You don't have to be same value. Whatever you feel, whatever you suitable for you, you just follow that. Not, maybe I'm wrong. Don't think that. Whatever you feel, you correct that. This is correct, I follow that. Okay, and that means you follow what is better, the superior. Your answer is, for me, yes. In general, no. Okay, that's it. And then, okay, for you, yes, that means you are not Rime? No, that means I'm Rime. I'm Rime, that's why I know, or at least believe, in general, they're all same value. For me, I have preferred this one. This have more value for me because my karma, my connection, my medicine is my path. So if you this way you go, then you will never have problem. So the other question, then should I follow everybody or follow one? Right? So that question depends how much time and energy for you. how much courage for you have, how broad you are. So that means you can be Rime in many ways. If you want to be best Rime, you believe you have energy, time, courage, and intelligence, then you explore everybody. Then you choose one. Choose the one means focus one. It's not saying, oh, one and then no other. It's not rejection. It's not rejection. You don't reject any of this, but you can focus one. You explore all of them and then you focus one what you like. That's it. And then if that's too much, then you a little bit explore and then focus what you can. If that's too much, then you don't have to explore at all. Whatever convenience for you, which one is more connected for you, just follow this, and the others also good, very good ones. Just I couldn't do it, but they must be very good. Think that way. So you usually you don't think, oh, my gold is the best, the other gold is no good. My money is the best, the other money is no good. You don't think that way. The same thing. Also, you don't think, oh, this my medicine is good, but other people's medicine is bad. You don't think that way. Oh, they're good equally, but it's not my medicine. You think that way, right? So same thing, you have to think that way, then it's no problem at all. That's still Rime. But who is not Rime means, oh, this is the right one. The all wrong. Wrong means wrong for everybody. So for instance, let's say somebody Christian or something, oh, everybody Buddhist is very wrong because worshiping an fake God, worshiping human, oh, so bad, or let's say Theravada say, okay, let's say this Lamaism is so wrong, it's not Buddhism, worshiping Lama, or the Tantrayana people say, oh, they are so wrong, Sutrayana, everything wrong, they are so inferior. Yes, inferior for you, but not inferior in general. Okay? Yes, Christian, yes, if you, yes, you can follow God, no problem. But you don't judge others very bad. You can think not suitable for me, no problem. But you can't think, oh, no, shouldn't be suitable for anybody. It's very bad. That is no good. Because it doesn't help. Nothing. No social level, not help. Human level, not help. Samsara level, not help. And Dharma level, no help at all, zero. So that's why important. Or some people could think, okay, yes, but a long time ago I'm Satya Baba. Now I follow Kagyu. Oh, maybe I feel guilty. It's terrible. Maybe I have bad karma. Maybe I have bad luck. You don't worry. Because Gagyutpa and Satyaba's teaching, or Gelugpa or whoever, their teachings as purpose is to liberate you, right? Not you liberate, you promise liberate them, right? It's not your vow to liberate them, right? It's their purpose, Dharma, is liberate you. Then you feel you have more hope, liberate with the new one rather than the other one, then you follow that. What's the problem? But if not that the purpose, something else going on, then maybe you have human problem, Huh? Not dharma problem, but you have maybe human problem. That's you have to separate. Okay? But dharma wise, you always have to remember dharma is for my liberation. The lamas or the teachers, the Buddha, everybody, attention to me is for my liberation, not the selfish motives. If you understand this, then you have never conflict, nothing. So then you are very relaxed, remain non-sectarian path. Okay? The other misunderstanding, non-sectarian means, remain means not, pieces from there, then pieces from there, and pieces from there, pieces, then I put together, try to put together. That's not remain. Remain is about relaxing. Remain is not taking advantage. Try to not advantage with laziness. Remain is you understand the Dharma is my liberation. Everybody's intention is to my liberation. Then I should focus whatever is suitable for me. But if your intention and everything, if it's not Dharma, something else, then it's again different story. Nothing to do with what I'm saying. Then you have to figure it yourself. Okay? I'm talking only Dharma point of view, no other intentions, not other motives, not other purposes. So that's you have to figure out. So that's why until now, not people very become non-sectarian and quasi-sectarian because didn't understood fully the purpose of remain, the benefits of remain. That's why. That's why conflict. Or if I remain, then I can't handle everyone. Huh? Or better to sectarian. That's why. But some of them truly believed, this one is the best, the others are wrong. Huh? So that's the problem. So maybe that's enough. Do they have any question or not? Okay, probably no time to question. But yeah, so hopefully that's clear. The study details and everything, the practice details, all these things, I think you have to read the book. I can't talk that in a short time. Today's focus is what's benefit to be remain and how we do it, how to do it. That's hopefully clear.
Very clear.
Okay.
Okay. The books are now available as EPUBs online in English and in Spanish. They're also available in print, but if you order one now, they are being printed currently, so they will ship out within the next few weeks.